Hello, 7th grade. It's Miss Odell again. We're here to start lesson 2.2, which is percent with fractions. Excuse me, this is coming from pages 69 to 71. All right, so a fraction to a percent. So a fraction to a percent. Now, to write a fraction as a percent, first you have to write the fraction's decimal equivalent. And to do that, you have to do your division unless you know what the decimal equivalent is. But in this case, we're going to divide, okay? So your 5 drops out, 4 drops in the house, and a 0 here with my decimal. 5 times 8 is 40. So my decimal equivalent is 0.8. Now, remember to go from a decimal to a percent, you're going to move your decimal to the left 2 places, which would be just like this. 1, 2. And annex a 0, and so that is 80%. Fair enough, right? So you divide, move your decimal to the places to the left 2 places, and then you go from a fraction to a percent. We'll practice some more of those here in just a few moments, okay? Now let's look at a fractional percent. Everybody look with me on page 70 in your book. Fractional percent. So when a small amount is compared to a much larger amount, the result may be a fraction of a percent, like less than 1%. For instance, 1/2%, which is 0.5, or 7/8 are fractions of a percent. Now, to keep a fractional percent to a decimal, first write the fraction as a decimal percent, keeping the percent symbol. Now, remember that the percent symbol is not dropped until the decimal point has moved. Okay? So, for example, if you have 3/8%, now remember, that's a fraction of a percent. It's not the whole shebang. It's just a fraction of a percent. Okay? So, to change a fractional percent to a decimal, change the fractional percent to a decimal percent, keeping the percent sign, which is what we have here. We're going to change that. And then to do that, of course, you have to divide. And when you do so, you're going to get 0.375%. We're going to change that to a decimal by moving our, remember when you're going from a percent to a decimal, well, when you're going, you want to move the decimal 2 places to the left, all right, to write the percent as a decimal. In this case, you're going to move it 2 places to the right, or to the left, I'm sorry, which is going to annex a 0 here, and your answer is going to be 0.00375, and that is the decimal of this fractional percent. We won't do a whole lot of those, but you do need to be familiar with that, okay? So let's practice some more. Let's say we have 6 4/5. Now, we want to convert the fraction to a decimal. So it's going from a fraction. Sometimes you'll see me write this. To a decimal, and then it's going to percent. Okay? So how would you write 6 4/5? Well, of course, you're going to use your long division. You're going to move your 6 over here to the side. You're going to bring this down. You're going to do your long division. 5. Put your decimal there. Annex your 0. So then you're going to have 6.8. Correct? You got your whole number right here, and your fraction or your decimal part there, which gives you a decimal of 6.8. Now, To make a decimal into a percent, you're going to move your decimal 2 places to the right, which goes like this, 1, 2, which gives you a whopping 680%. And yes, some of your answers will be that large, okay? Now, let's look at a few more and practice these as well, okay? Okay, so to change a fraction, let's go over the steps again. 2%. First thing you want to do is you want to do what? Change the fraction to a decimal. So you want to change the fraction let me get a drink here. To change the fraction to a decimal. Okay. And then you are going to move your decimal point 2 places, because you're going to change the fraction to a decimal, and then you're going to change your decimal to a percent. And that involves moving your decimal 2 places to the right. All right, now let's go ahead and practice a couple of these. Okay, let's take 7/8. Okay, so remember our goal here is to go from a fraction to a percent, but we really have to go from a fraction to a decimal to a percent. And for starters here, we got to do our long division and annex our 0, right? How many times will 8 go into 70? Well, 8 times 8 is 64, right? Which leaves you 6, annex another 0. And 8 times 7 is 56. Which leaves you 40. Annex another 0. That's 40 when you annex another 0, of course. And then, of course, 5 times 8 is 40, which is 0. So now you can say that 7/8 is equal to 0.875. And then we want to change that to percent, correct? So here's my decimal. And I'm going to move it to the right 2 places. Bing, bing. So my answer is 87.5%. Okay? Let's do another one. And all right, so we're going to do 1 3/10. And again, what we have to do here is we have to change the fractional part to a decimal, okay? So 10 divided into 3, we have to annex here, which is 0.3. There we have it. So we have 1.3. Now, when we have 1.3, and we're going to change this to a percent, again, we're going to move our decimal point to the right 2 places. So bing, bing, which makes it 130%. Okay? I hope you understand this. Your assignment today is going to be on page 71, and you're going to do all of 1 through 12. So remember your steps. You're going to do your long division to get to your decimal, and then you're going to move your decimal to the right 2 places to get percent. Guys, you know how to reach me. Let me know if you have any questions. Have a great day. Bye.